great initiative, and I think that it can go throughout Trinidad and Tobago. And I'm seeing it. I saw this setup that was happening in Port Spain. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Papa G. How you doing?
I'm good, man.
Yeah, man. Afternoon to your listeners and viewers. That's a good topic you bring up here. You know, I listen to all the negative comments as you say, but it is an actual contribution towards, you know, helping. And let me tell you, like in America and England and these places where some of these people that be quoted, the ability to trace people. The more cameras and things you have, is the more you can trace people, and the faster you can trace getaway people. Because when a man commits a crime, a little distance away, if you run in or something, the mask does come off. If we have more cameras about the place, you can trace, you can't trace where they trace. I mean, it's just common sense that kind of way. You know, and I want to laud and applaud the Tunapuna business community for literally coming together and doing something about it. You know, and making a contribution, because all the time we're asking for corporate society to aid. This is just one of the things, and I'm not saying it's a panacea, but it is a good initiative that is a good mindset they come with. And I hope the other communities, business communities, come together and make a contribution. Instead of people trying to be so best scientists and say they go help and this and that and the other. It is a good thing that is being done. Thanks for running that soon today, Papa G. Have a good day. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Hi, good afternoon. What are your thoughts about it?
Long overdue, very. For the business people that get involved, I clap them. I give them a round of applause, and I want the others to follow. Stop depending on the state. Follow and jump and follow suit now. That was long overdue, and I want to give them thumbs up. Have a blessed day.
Thank you very much. I'm taking your calls, 342-0081, 342-0081, 466-5391. What is your view about, you know, the Tunapuna businessmen and they coming together with, you know, the police? Hello? Good afternoon.
It's a good idea. It's good, and I hope Duma and them and Port Spain could do the same thing. You have a blessed afternoon and a blessed weekend.
Same to you. Okay.
Bye.
All right. So you just heard it. People calling in and they're sharing their view. I'm taking your calls, 342-0081, 466-5391. What is your view on the businessmen and coming together with the police officers? Cameras in Tunapuna. They have camera down Tunapuna. What is your view? Hello, good morning. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. I have said that, and I wish that all communities should do the same thing too. It's a good thing.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. 342-0081, 466-5391. So call me now. Tell me what is your view about the Tunapuna. What is happening in Tunapuna? We have heard of, you know, what has been going on in Tunapuna and the crime and some of the murders and some of the things that has been happening. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor. Well, that is one of the best things that could ever happen. And I hope, well, it is halfway in Bonnet Gardens area. Everybody almost had a camera. So when all the thieves come in and bandits come in, all they better duck low. And remember the camera seen all before they see the camera. So they look out. It is in Bonnet Gardens. So bandits and crooks, all they beware of the things that all they come in to do in Bonnet Gardens. And I'm glad for Tunapuna. I hope it happens in the whole of Mount Lambert area. So them fellas can't move wrong. Thank you. We're glad for it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mano. So, we're taking your calls, 342-0081, 466-5391. So, people are agreeing with what has been happening or what has started in Tunapuna. And you also the control room, you also where there was a young lady training the police officers to do the surveillance and stuff like that. You remember the last time I was showing you all the cameras that they were putting in Port Spain and people were calling in, sending messages and saying how those things don't work and those things doesn't make any sense and how we so show them cameras seeing anybody and all those sort of things. So we're seeing now where there are cameras being put up in Tunapuna. We're seeing it being put up in Port of Spain. My question would be, do you really think that this would be a deterrent to crime? Do you think that the criminals out there, when they, well, now that they're seeing that the place is being cameraed down, it is going to kind of have them very skeptical of how they operate? Huh? So that's a question I want to ask. And when I come back from the break, I'm going to play you 2 stories back to back of incident with some children. I want you to think about it and hear clearly what is going to be played. Come back after this break.
As the season changes, let's continue to show that ocean of unity for each other. Let's harmonize that sweet rhythmic sound that comes from deep within, that reflects togetherness, getting back to the issues that matter the most. One mission, one station, The Street 919 FM.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of The Street 919 FM.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on The Street 919 FM.
If you want greater respect from your bankers, bosses, those in authority, then words matter. If you want more productive business relationships with co-workers, customers, or clients, then join Dr. Madonna on The Street 919 FM every Monday 11 a.m. to 12 noon for Words Matter. Communication for joyful workplaces. Dr. Madonna will help you unlock the secret power of words for your financial, relationship, and physical well-being. Whether you work at home, on the road, or in an organization, join Dr. Madonna every Monday, 11 a.m. to 12 noon for Words Matter. Communication for joyful workplaces.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's radio. Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
You are invited to join Pastor Morris Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center, located at number 399 Eastern Main Road, Waiko, in Sangre Grande, for the Old-Time Gospel Hour Family Radio Ministry, every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. On Mondays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., Trauma and Bereavement. Also, every Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., The Low and You. Wednesdays from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., dealing with disabilities. And every Friday evening from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m., the all-night prayer live on The Street 919 FM, designed with you in mind. This program deals with the day's issues from a biblical perspective, and you'll also be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Micah 6:8 says, He had showed you, O man, what is good, and what doth the Lord require of you, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. Your financial support through the First Citizens Bank will be greatly appreciated. Account number 795222. For further information, call 753-1113 or 610-4673.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Sheldon Robinson, father of a 10-year-old pupil of the Aruka Government Primary School, is angry about an incident at the school.
They said my daughter went in the toilet and 6 girls brushed in the toilet and started cough she up in she back, kick she up in she back, to pull up she hair, pull she should call her was choking she and thing. She says she tried to run, but it was so much of them, she couldn't have fight back. She just had to bend down and hold herself, and everybody was hitting she.
Mr. Robinson is also upset over how long it took for the school to notify him.
Found out about it 10 to 3, like 10 minutes before school over. When I went in school this morning, the principal told me it happened 11 o'clock. So I asked the question, I said, Miss, something happened 11 o'clock, and it's only 10 to 3, or you call me before school over. She said she's sorry. I said, Miss, sorry, can I help it? I said, because at the end of the day, it could have been worse.
He believes the attack stemmed from a previous incident involving Standard 3 children.
It stemmed from some girls whining in the toilet, and when the question she about it, 2-3 girls start to lie, and my daughter come out and say what took place. So for me, I want to believe that stemmed to everything.
This concerned father is surprised that no other parents were made aware of the incident, and when he visited the school this morning, he expected to meet the parents of his child's alleged attackers to sit and figure out how to move forward.
The principal telling me they had to wait for the community police to get involved, then she will send out letter to the parents. So I asked the question, I said, Miss, if I start to act up in the school now, the police going to appear now. I said, so what is the difference? My child being assaulted by 6 girls, or they did not call the police at the point in time, right? Or they did not inform no parents, nobody.
There is another meeting, he tells us, scheduled for tomorrow. His attempts to have his daughter medically examined did not pan out.
Because my daughter going in she bed this morning, get up, when she bed last night, woke up this morning and telling me she thought she was still in the bathroom. Because she frightened, she traumatized. You understand? She still got up, she back hurting she. So the mother took her to the health center after the meeting with the principal, and they told us we had to come back for about 4 or 6 this afternoon.
Education Minister Dr. Nian Gadsby-Dolly, when contacted this afternoon, acknowledges school bullying as a global, long-standing issue. In TNT, she says the school discipline matrix applies to every level of the public school system and outlines the procedures to be followed. Some infractions, she says, require mandatory police reports by the principal. In other cases, parents may opt to make police reports. In all cases, the matters ought to be dealt with by the teacher and principal first, and depending on the situation, school supervisors, the director of school supervision, and the minister may get involved. She tells us the teacher or principal, after determining the facts of the matter, may then call in parents for discussions. Dr. Gadsby-Dolly says in most but not all the cases, this is enough to resolve it. She says dissatisfied parents can visit the Education District Office to seek the intervention of school supervisors. Urvishi Tumori, Rupnarayan, TV6 News.
This is a new generation, entwined with the young ones. Hello, hello, hello. Even go and play. That cannot be fair. There's madness everywhere. Rashati say, cut out the system. Songs like that say we missing. What about singing Sandra? The ghetto youth is on fire. Brother resistance, I said to bring me back long days. Time to connect with our ancestors. TNT filled with these bloodsuckers. Children cry. Every nation cry. Every people cry. Hello. This is the cry for the nation from this new generation.
I want to make something known. It's been bothering me for a little while now. You know, my 5-year-old was bullied into eating snacks on the toilet. Here was it, right? Now, We are the police system. We are child protective system. We have a lot of system in place that is be doing advertisement, wasting a sort of flicking taxpayers' money to pop advertisement, and then it's nothing other that's be doing. You want to see? My daughter have been bullied from standard 4 go straight up. Now her teacher knows everything about these things because I make time to go up in school and deal with certain things. Alright. Now the children of her class, hear what I say. I don't care if the parents are vexed or they ain't vexed. Hear what I say. The children of the standard 5 class in San Andrew, hear what I'm saying. I don't know what is your grooming the children are meant to doing, but you know when you see the right SCA and they go out there, you will not be there to help them. So you see where you had them getting away with now, they wouldn't be able to get away with it outside there. And I hope the parents and them of the children hearing what is saying. So if all they feel favoritism is something nice, study the consequences behind favoritism sometimes. Now I went to the school, Edinburgh Government, 500, to speak to the teacher about my daughter bullying case since 2023. She gets stabbed with pencil. She walked into the washroom, she gets stabbed with a pencil. When I went to the teacher, he said she told him about it. The group of boys in her class beating her, they doing all kind of thing. She sit down, she doing she work the pushing shade on the table and all kind of thing. She cannot retaliate because the teacher tells she if she hit them back, she will get herself in trouble. Hear what it is I'm telling all here, right? Trinidad and Tobago, hear what I'm saying. This Edinburgh government. The one better come in the school and get on like a mad woman. But God has told me, hold my tongue. Go and do what I tell you to do. Do what you want. So I'm going and I'm recording. I'm recording everything that is being said to me from these teachers. Now, when I went in the school, when my son was forced to eat the snack from the toilet on the 27th of November 2023, on November the 28th, 2023, I went to the school. I was told that no parents allowed on the compound. So me, the parent of the child that just ate things on the toilet, principal didn't call me and tell me anything. Give the children them lines like that. It's just a normal hit on the back or push down the step or some kind of thing. They get lines. For feeding a child snack from the toilet. This is what she feels is normal. Right? This is what the Ministry of Education feel is normal. So I don't know what is not normal to them. Well, I'm trying to compose myself here, but anyway. Going in the school, asking the vice principal, what about this thing and whatever? She can't disclose no information. So who am I? I'm an outsider. I the parent of the child. You're supposed to be able to give me information. This is my child. It happened on all the compound within all the school hours. How are you telling me you cannot tell me and the principal doing the investigation? Up to now, I don't know what investigation the principal do. She has to bring forth that investigation for me. Because I've been running to and from Shogunas police station, and when I reach there, it's a whole run around. Hook do them kind of thing here. The man in charge not here. Ma'am, don't go on social media and post something other way again help. But when I ask them all if I help, who is helping me? So I prefer hear my child dead, all go just say one little nigga less. Right? And it's normal. Yes, I know your children don't go to school there, they go to Montrose government. This is the principal, Miss Mohammed. I'll call names, I don't care. Because nobody cares about me right now. I think it was the Friday or the Thursday before Carnival this year. I went to the Ministry of Education in Kuva. They told me I will wait for a meeting. Wait until after the Carnival for a meeting with the principal, myself, and whoever of importance to that, whatever, yeah. All they will call me today to tell me all in the school, no warning, no 2 days in advance, all they going to the school to make myself available to hear what it is. So all they want to come to a conclusion without me. When my child got stuck in the eye with the pencil, the same 5-year-old that I'm speaking about, when he got stuck in his eye with a pencil, you know what they called me and told me? Mommy, the child eye red, come and pick him up. Now me being the parent, if it's red eye, I don't want nobody else's child get it for no parent to come and say my child a red eye, and they get it for my child. So I run to pick up my child. When I watch my child have a flicking pencil point in it. When I came in the health center, they say, ma'am, that is not no finger, that is a pencil. Thing. I had to go up in school for she to ask what really happened to the child. You know. Now she don't care, and she could vex at her business. Up to now, the principal haven't called me pertaining to my child matter. You know what she does do? Question my daughter in school. That is how I get to find out my child ate stuff from the toilet. My daughter had to come home and tell me. The vice principal I call neither. Now lo and behold, my daughter is writing a essay. Yeah, what I'm telling all here. Victimization will never done. They will hate we African people for no reason. Let me hear what's the reason you're victimizing a child for. There's a child that have a future. You don't live your life. What you doing my daughter this for? You correcting maths paper, right? Or they had the answers on a sheet. If you correcting and realize, hey, you make a mistake. You know you put it wrong on my daughter's sheet. You ain't fix it up to now. You leave it as it is. Right? You leave it as it is. Let me tell you what it is. I want this video to go very far because I want it reach back in the Ministry of Education. If I have to go in the Ministry of Education in Port of Spain, we're going to have problems. Because I've been taking my time for the longest while to deal with you all the right way. How am I not being dealt with the right way? You know what I'm trying to tell me? They want to come to a conclusion. They want a transfer for the child. So if I don't have money to transfer my child from no school, who buying uniform and books again? I know how to do it in September. But what I'm saying is, come on now, man. Every time an incident takes place in a school, the only solution is for the transfer the child from the school. So why do not deal with the head where the problem is? Sort out the problem. Don't leave the problem so next parent can come and complain about the same thing or something different or maybe worse.
So that is a second parent complaining. Right? Second parent complaining. Something needs to be done with. Something has to be done. Something has to be done. And that's the most I would say. Something has to be done. You know, there's a situation I saw, and I want to show it there because I want you all to see how people, I want you all to hear how people think, how people think. I think I really just want to play these videos because you see this video I'm gonna show you. I'm just gonna play the video. I don't even have much to say about the video, to be quite honest. I want to show the video. It's for you to listen to. Look at this. Listen to this, right? Don't touch your dial.
Let's come in our area and bring in our own workers. And we must sit down here and dead? No! We're not taking that. We're not taking it,
A group of men from Claxton Bay staged a protest on Thursday morning, demanding employment at the Brechin Castle's solar farm. The solar farm is a government initiative being built by BP Alternative Energy Trinidad and Tobago and Shell Renewables Caribbean. This phase of the project is currently being constructed on 587 acres of land and is expected to become operational by mid-2025.
There's a big $1 million project which includes companies like BP, Shell, NGC. They are doing a big solar plant there. Over 500 and something acres of land has been cleared. And no one from the community have been hired. Neither a contractor from the area. We find it unjust.
He says they have been trying for months by doing the relevant online applications, submitting requested documents, and attending their job fairs with no positive feedback to date. Yet they claim workers from other areas, including Venezuelans, are being utilized, something they're not willing to accept.
But I tell you, Rowdy say, the richer they get richer and the poor are dead. That's what Rowdy say. Because if you care anything about it, the first thing I do is consult the people in the area. They consult nobody on the side. They go on Windsor Park and Phoenix Park because they feel like people will be more tame and we hooligan on the side, they never come and check us. No, that is discrimination. It's not negotiating again. It's action. Either you employ us, there's nobody can work. I'll make up all of mine.
In 2019, the government issued a request for proposals to build, own, operate, and supply up to 130 megawatts of renewable power to Trinidad and Tobago's national grid. BP and Shell applied jointly and won. In April last year, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley attended the sod turning ceremony for the project. Once completed, the solar site is set to become the largest solar energy producer in the Caribbean. Cindy Raghubatika Singh, TV6 News.
Right. I'm taking your calls. What are your views about what you just heard? I don't have much to say. I don't have much to say. I just asking, what is your view on what you just heard? All right, 342-0081, 466-5391. If you didn't hear it, I can play it again, you know. So I have two topics I'm dealing with. All right? Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
But they said this project will start in full as yet. So why he has to get on like that? I don't understand. And the lady with the child, I want the president to talk to the principal because he always jumping up and saying all sort of things to represent his workers. I want him to deal with the principal and the school too, with the lady and the children, and the gentleman and his daughter. Okay? I'm going to bless her.
Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Goodman.
Hi, good afternoon.
You know, the lady started, when I didn't hear the first part of the gentleman said, but the lady said that the teacher called her and said that the child had red eye. She took the child to the hospital or the health center, and the doctor or the nurse said that the child was chucked in the eye with a pet. I believe the next alternative move for that lady should have done was go to the police station, get a medical, bring it back to the health center or the hospital, let the nurse or the doctor pull it out, and then from there, you go back to the school and you find the child or the parent of the child. The teacher can't really tell you who is the parent until the teacher have a conversation with the vice principal and decide to put the two parents down to have some mediation or some sort of financial. But if you had gone to the police station with your and get your medical, now you would have been able to sue somebody for damages, or you have evidence to prove that you have got a particular child, because who put your child to go in the toilet? So I hear your child has one particular child and that has a problem. And therefore the teacher and the principal, to me, had a right to deal with that matter from the initial start of that. So therefore, if I didn't get in that action, I have my medical to go to the poll, to go to the ministry, stating what is taking place now. Now I only have to talk, if you understand what I'm saying. I no hard evidence that I could use against anybody to get any sort of redress against my child being choked in the eye or could lose the eye in the next 5 years. If you understand my point. The other thing with this fella here, what skill they have? Were they training in solar panel installation? Were they training in electrical? What skill they have? Or is just to put on mortar and blocks? You understand my point, Pastor Google? You're not telling us what you ever going on. I have 5 electricians in my company, in my community. Well, yeah, according to Dr. Roy last night, all they want is a work. What you could do? Anything. And everybody could do anything, eh? Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Hi, good afternoon.
And to your listeners as well. Happy International Women's Day to all the women listening all over the world. Pastor Google, this issue of children being victimized is a serious issue that the Ministry of Education needs to get involved in and deal with it. I too have had that experience. Luckily for me, I could have homeschooled my child, but not everybody could do that. And it is a continuous thing where children are being victimized in the schools, and when the parents go to question, the child is further victimized, or you hear what? Ask if the child can get a transfer. But then, here's what happens. When that child gets transferred, the information goes with that child. So when the ministry tell you, take your child to another school, they transfer the problem, and before the child reaches the school, that school and that principal and the teachers know, hey, a troublesome child and a troublesome parent coming. So the issue needs to be addressed. Like one of your former callers, I would really like to hear the president of TUTA speak on this matter, because I am sure they are aware that these things are happening in the school. With respect to the group of men who complaining about not getting jobs, it's a pity people don't understand that different phases in the development will require a different skill set. The international employers and companies, they understand their corporate social responsibility, you know. They know that they must hire people within the catchment areas of the construction. It is just that what they want at this time is not what they have. And somehow, I don't know why people don't understand this. It's not that they're not going to hire them. It is their corporate social responsibility to hire people within the catchment areas. And all they need to do is exercise a little patience, because eventually they will get employment. And everything is Dr. Rowley. Dr. Rowley says they had to, what is that? When black people will stop that? Jesus. Pastor Google, have a good evening, and please get home safely. Bye.
Thank you very much for your call. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon again. You know, them parents and them exercise admirable restraint, Pastor Google. Oh my God, you know, I cannot understand why people moving so slow. A pencil in here. Pastor Google, how you would react to that? That your child got a joke with a pencil in she eye? I mean, and all that sort of run around there to go through to see, to get. And you know, the brother made an important point. The first one, he said, if I start again, act the fool now, you're going to call the police now. Listen, I want to talk directly to the parents and the teachers. You see, that's how all they do it. You know, and thing lightly. That Dinah, it's enough. Now, Dinah, right now we need everybody on board in terms of to try and get the society back in our gear. You know, they have all their collecting all their salaries, all again, paid to do all they have to do. But part of it too, I mean, you're not seeing your child or your niece or anything when these things happen to move expeditious on these police matters. I find what it is, Pastor Google. So I want to make a little clarion call to let it cannot be that way. Cannot be that way. And they need to move with immediate effect on bullying in schools and Pastor Google. We need to do something more rapid about this, Pastor Google. Thanks for giving us.
Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon. Hello?
Hi, good afternoon, caller.
Yeah. The people who complain about the war. Half of them. No, I discriminate. There were half of them smoking weed. But I want to come and people walk and the man walk and say they want to walk. But they can't take a proper drug test. Just like don't talk for a break. Because the people live in here that they entitled to work. That's why they pick up their jacket leg and they go on next people with it because they realize they want to work. They're on that job, that folk. The lazy. That's why the company offer the solar farm high end and they not because they work. It's why the time harder than this or that. Or the demand and they want to work. I know the company that work in that solar farm and all the employees very well trained. You can't come on that side yourself and say you want to work. You want to work. You have to do things the right way to get work. You have to be trained, you have to be certified, you have to be qualified, you have to be not under the influence of drugs. When you come and just somebody and you have to work and nobody can't work. That's the best time. I think people have, but if they want to work, let them go to the go by a lovely goat farm and a dog farm, they will get work there. That's what I want. Thanks.
Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Caller? Alright, so if you want to know what we're discussing, this is what we are discussing. This is one of the topics that we're talking about.
Doesn't come in our area and bring in our own workers. And we must sit down here and dead? No! We're not taking it.
A group of men from Claxton Bay staged a protest on Thursday morning demanding employment at the Brechin Castle's solar farm. The solar farm is a government initiative being built by BP Alternative Energy Trinidad and Tobago and Shell Renewables Caribbean. This phase of the project is currently being constructed on 587 acres of land and is expected to become operational by mid-2025.
There's a big $1 million project which includes companies like BP, Shell, NGC. They are doing a big solar plant there. Over 500 and something acres of land has been cleared. And no one from the community have been hired. Neither a contractor from the area. We find it unjust.
He says they have been trying for months by doing the relevant online applications, submitting requested documents, and attending their job fairs with no positive feedback to date. Yet they claim workers from other areas, including Venezuelans, are being utilized, something they're not willing to accept.
But I tell you, Rowley say, the richer they get rich and the poor they dead. That's what Rowley say. But if you care anything about it, the first thing I do is consult the people in the area. They consult nobody on the side. They go on Windsor Park and Phoenix Park because they feel like people will be more tame and we pulling on the side and never come and check us. No, that is discrimination. It's not negotiating again. It's action. Either you employ us, there's nobody can work. I'll make up on your mind.
In 2019, the government issued a request for proposals to build, own, operate, and supply up to 130 megawatts of renewable power to Trinidad and Tobago's national grid. BP and Shell applied jointly and won. In April last year, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley attended the sod turning ceremony for the project. Once completed, the solar site is set to become the largest solar energy producer in the Caribbean. Cindy Raghubatika Singh, TV6 News.
So taking your calls. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor.
Good afternoon.
Right. Good afternoon, sir. Right. I listened to the young man, and the young man have a problem. But one of the things he's saying, which is wrong, because I wouldn't believe that Mr. Rowley said that
food security and the environment.
The rich have to get richer, and the poor must dead. The poor must dead, that don't sound right. Because God said the rich will get richer. And the poor you will have with you always. Right? And then there's this guy who has a problem coming to say that the people smoking weed because he's seen a black man and he's seen black people. That is how his statement sound to me. So he was attacking the color of the person, saying that they're smoking weed, and he also attacked Mr. Rowley, saying that go on Mr. Rowley farm. That was saying, caller, that is what he was saying. Go on Mr. Rowley farm and smoke weed. What is all you doing in truth? Why all you creating this kind of fabric in the nation? Anyhow, that's why I have to say, Pastor, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. All right. So you can call me up 342-0081 466-5391. What is your thoughts? Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Pastor Gugu.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, man. President Trinidad and Tobago is right here. And good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. These days are inconvenient to open, except when I hear something that I kind of like realize like it could give a information here. Because here, what's going on? That situation, I'm going with the children in the school. I leave that for parents and so forth who handling that. I wouldn't go and interfere with that. But all I will interfere with is the next one with the brothers and them. We looking for a job in that area. Because what I want to put in here is a matter of local government reform. If I slip in that, it will make a proper understanding that now or for after or whenever it is to be, when the reform is set and so forth, it really should be that in the communities people get to work from the community, right? And as much as the Constitution would say that when you're picking representatives, it's supposed to be from the community, I still want to ask if that notion in the Constitution is truly being acted on in a proper way or in a sure legal way. Because that is the problem of causing the brother now to be having a serious situation in coursing and saying that he is from the community and he can get something. So in the position of the big conglomerate that start the work in the first place, you say something from 2019, this thing, all that period of time, then it should be that they should call or send out a bulletin or something to find out who have this career, who that have career, and see who they could get in there, even so that they will be taking some of their own people. So it has no excuse. What's supposed to be is that people are supposed to get off of their butt and put the thing right for Trinidad and Tobago people to be able to fit into the situation. All you said just now is local government reform. I want to know if it's not working now. How you expect that you could start to even make a presentation to work when you're doing the reform? And that is what we're talking. Even the tax, as we put in to sit with the reform, these things are supposed to be put in place now, so that by the time you're ready, people don't get into it and could be able to fit in it easily. So thank you, Pastor Google. That is the information I want to put here. I mean, I'm not being a big politician, but where right is right, right's supposed to stay right, and not wrong for people to be arguing all the time. Thank you, brother.
All right. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Good afternoon.
Pastor Google, we all would agree that if you have a project in the area and you have qualified person to work on a project, because you're talking about investment and productivity and profit. And if you have qualified people in the area, of course, they must be employed. If they're qualified people, and you look at it in a general sense, in a country, you should not bring 50 or 75% foreigners when we have qualified people here. You would make an agreement that your people, your local people, meaning Trinidadian, and in an area where the guys from, you say, well, we want a certain amount of, your representative will do that. But that hooligan behavior, I don't accept it. You know, you sit down, you gather yourself, find out what your people can do. You talk about contractors, but what your employees can do, you have to have trained people. This day and age where people are having robot working, they're discarding people who want to take pee break, cough break, this break, and all kind of break. No, let's get real and do it right. If you have people that you're a contractor and you have workers and you want to contract, do it right. Concerning the school, Pastor Google, a teacher is responsible for a class. The principal is responsible for the school. And then, of course, you have the union and then the Ministry of Education. And if the teacher cannot make it right, she have no business being in the people's school. Children are bullied every day, and I know about it. It has not happened to my children because they never complain, and I had no reason for going to school. But I know of relatives where it has happened, and because you react, you get suspended. So the teachers, you better make it right, because I have been to a parent-teacher meeting and for my grandchild, and I heard the teacher saying, oh, she have home to go and she have a home to take care of. Stay home if you have to stay home. But when you come to the school, you're doing the people's work. Thank you, Pastor Google.
Hi, thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, Pastor Google.
Hi.
What I can't understand is how Dr. Rowley's farm reached in that whole conversation. Like this farm burying people? That's stupid conversations about the smoking weed, and there's all kind of people that smoke weed. Come on. Shim.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Hi.
Look, just one or two little things I want to clear up. First of all, Dr. Rowley never said the rich must get poorer and the poor must stay there and remain poor. What the man said is that if government provides businesses with more incentives and they're doing well, then they would be in a very good position to hire more people. That is what the man said. Simple. If businesses do well, they could hire more people. The man never said anything about the rich must get richer and the poor must get poorer. That's the excuse for people to be just worthless. Worthless, and listen to the dotishness that is being fed to them by Bethesda and the UNC about how Rowley don't like black people, and Rowley's a dread man, and Rowley's this, and Rowley's that, and this dotishness about the 1%, and this and that and the other. That is UNC dotishness that is being fed into the heads of gullible black people like you and me. That is what it is. It has to be said, it needs to be said, and I am saying it today. And do not misquote what the man said. What the man said was very simple and very straightforward. The business people are the people with the money. If you give them more incentives, they could invest more, open more businesses, and they could hire more unemployed people. That is what the man said. Don't turn and twist and misconstrue what the man said for your own stupid, worthless purposes. You're listening to the UNC. You are listening to the UNC who telling you thing about who want to malign Dr. Rowley. This black man don't like black people, and he is a dread man, and he's this and that and the other. Right? And in any case, Dr. Rowley is a proud black man, and people must understand, and they must know, and they must be told. There's something that must be clarified for a lot of our people. I don't care what the UNC say about Dr. Rowley, but our people must understand certain basic things. When they tell you about Dr. Rowley, don't care about poor people, and he don't care about black people, and he have a farm in Tobago. He does. But before Dr. Rowley even entered politics, Dr. Rowley has a bachelor's, first class, he has a master's and a doctorate in geology. And Dr. Rowley had several different well-appointed jobs before he got into politics. The man used to be chairman of National Quarries. The man used to be head of the seismic unit in UE. The seismic unit that oversees things like earthquakes and earth movements and that kind of thing, because of his qualifications. And the man has been hired across the Caribbean and across the world, in those countries where you have unusual earth movements, and where these places across the world have like volcanoes and that kind of thing. He has been hired, so he has acquired a lot of professional work and has made a lot of money. And he has invested in a farm in Tobago. So it's misleading and a downright lie to be telling people, and for our people, black people, to buy into this UNC nonsense that Dr. Rowley has a farm in Tobago and he's a dread man, and he poor, he rich for so, and we poor, and he registered the farm with the Integrity Commission. The man had several professional appointments and jobs and designations even before he became a politician. Right? So, let people understand those things before they fall prey to the dotishness and the dishonesty of the UNC, who just want to turn black people away from Dr. Rowley and not vote for the PNM in the general election next year, and vote for them, taking in the misguided feeling that these people in the UNC like them and they love them. Kamala is a mother, she's a grandmother, she loves people. Look how sweet she's looking. Look how pretty she is. Look how nice the hair is. That is what a lot of our people, that the dotishness that a lot of our people fall for. Right? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.
Afternoon. How are you going?
I'm okay.
What people tell us back in 2015, I look back for the last 8 years, and I want to see them supporters to ask themselves if their life was better under the UNC or their life better under Rowley. This man, this is not about politics. This is for anyone people in this country. Look for the last 8 years. You tell me what it is, what you benefit from the government. If you had any improvement in roads, any improvement in infrastructure, any improvement in food, everything is there, everything going up. Tell me for the last 8 years what they are achieving in their manifesto, what they have done to improve black people's life in this country. But everybody wants to come. This is about you, and defend Rowley and the black man and how much masters he have, how much he have, right? But what he's doing for the people, especially the black community in this country, absolutely nothing. That's why you're finding more and more young men on the street wiping cars. They're looking for URT work. They're looking for how much to protest work. They have nothing on this man. But everybody keep coming and defending this man over and over. Look at the 1%. That's why can't blast any man down, because you take black in the outside and the white inside. Look at all these big state enterprise contracts that you 1% control it. Some of the black people have big security from getting work, go heritage, go in all their places. The 1% have the contract for the tap and spray. How much all them firms to transport prisoners and the white people look at the Rowley crowd. The people are wrong, Rowley.
Just now, you're rambling on and on and on and on and on. And I'm trying to understand where you're going with this. Because just now, caller. Sir. Listen to me. No, you were talking over and over about certain things, and the things that you're talking about, clearly, I am trying to understand where you're going. First to begin, there is no more amalgamated police officers like in a massive way transporting prisoners the way they did. You don't see that in the magnitude or the big way that you used to see it long time. So that has come to a complete, well, not completely, but it is in a minute transportation now. So that's one thing that does not exist the way it used to. That's one.
Right.
Two,
I hear
you ask me what have this government done to improve the lives of people in this country. And what have they done for the young people? This government has started a ministry by the name of National Youth Service, the Ministry of Youth and National Service, where they have been training young people consistently on a consistent basis to open farms, to start their own businesses. They have given in loans by Netco and all these different areas. The ministry, wait, that's not true. That's not true. The Ministry of Youth and National Service was not a long time, and the ministry is doing programs of teaching young people how to farm. Is not something that was happening all the time. Don't say that is not true. That is not true. The ministry is linked up with IWE and is teaching young men and women how to farm properly.
Okay, forget about farm. Not everybody wants to go in the hospital and farm. What are they doing to help people? Come here. Forget about the farming.
What they did what? No, you can't say forget about the farming, because if you can't feed yourself, then you have a problem. Your import bill let's be a big magnitude. So you can't say forget about farming. Farming is an important thing.
What have they done for the last 8 years? Tell me what they achieved for their manifesto.
They have achieved. Come on, there are a lot of things that they have achieved. I'm calling out some stuff, but hear what? Yes, but hear what I'm saying to you. No, that's not.
$90 for fighter chicken. The import bill is $19 billion.
All right,
what is the improvement? What the condition of the roads? What the condition of the
So the roads are not fixing, sir. The roads are not being fixed. But they were fixing roads. They were fixing roads long before. What? Have a good afternoon, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Good afternoon.
Pastor Google, you are patient, you know. You are real patient. That last caller, I had two words to you. Kamala Persad-Bissessar is not coming back as Prime Minister in Trinidad and Tobago. Let's only take it in the pipe and smoke it, right? Because You rambling. From since 2015 to present, 8-9 years going to 10. Right? When Dr. Rowley assumed prime ministership in 2015, what was the state of the economy, caller? Where all the money from NGC gone, caller? Who proclaimed Section 34, caller? The $6 million truck to pick up the truck coming on the precipice, caller? The $1 billion water treatment plant that never started, caller. So don't come here and make it song as if the government at the end of the day is not performing. You see, Pastor Google, people like them, so they don't have eyes to see the negativity in the country. They don't have eyes to see the country going forward. All they're seeing is Dr. Rowley and they paint them as wicked and they're bad and they don't care about black people and they care and people suffering. Pastor Google, carnival gone last Monday was carnival. People were suffering then. No, you see, we just complain and we just suffer when it's convenient to us. You understand? Everything for them is about politics and race in the UNC. Nothing else about country. But then again, the leaders say it's party before country. So that is why he can come on the radio now and talk all this foolishness and say about the government, they 8 years and they ain't doing this and they ain't doing that. They see it, you know, but they just want to open their mouth and talk because they want Kamala come back at the UNC. But I tell you something today. The opposition leader, Mrs. Kamala Sushila Prasad Bisesa and the UNC is not coming back to run the affairs in Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, I don't know what happened there. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm just kind of the caller before this one with his statement. Talking about the young people who want to stay by traffic lights and white windscreen and so on. That's their choice. Because the government has offered so many courses for them persons to learn trades, learn this, learn that. I mean, it's countless. Whether you want to get into agriculture, all these things are being offered. But you can only take the animal to the water. You can't make them drink. And we have to stop blaming the government, whether past or present, for where we are. We have to look at ourselves. We as a people have to look at ourselves and also realize that that previous government have only one intention, which is to get into power. And then getting into power, any number could play. And I think the warning that the Prime Minister gave last night, we should take it seriously. And as the guy said before, they are not coming back. Wake up. They're not coming back. Thank you very much.
And I am a student. Anyway, right now, we're doing the Shade House project. And what I would say is I learned a lot of things I didn't think that I would need at any point in time. But it comes in handy so far. I'm meeting a lot of new people. We're getting opportunities. But I must say that this is something that is helping the youth. And it is a program that we could push because we should push. And if it is something that the youth liking and they enjoying so far, then push it a little further. We're doing more husbandry. About aphids, mites, different animals like attack the plants, how it is what things you want to use so that your crop will come good. There's a lot that we're learning. This is a good program and I think that this should continue.
Right. Hello, good afternoon.
Sing it again, they're not coming back.
All right, thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
All right, good afternoon.
For the previous third caller who was making all this noise, Pastor Google, dust from off your shoe now. It has some people there really can't help because they have a permanent mindset, right? So let's shake off the dust from on your shoe and moving on. Let's see. One of the problems I have is that this is going to be the third time I'm going to say this in different stations, different forums. Pastor Google, from what you said, you live in South, right? True or false?
Yeah, caller, do really quick now. At time right now to have callers holding, just like how you were holding, have other callers holding.
Right. The reason why I ask that is because you coming down to Port of Spain to work. You didn't decide to wait in the community for them to develop something. But when we continue with this stupidity, and they had to bring our work to you, oh my goodness, who you is? The Queen Mary? That they had to bring work for you? No, brother. Everybody else go and look at the traffic jam on a morning and from San Fernando to Port of Spain. It's because the people down in South knows that they have to go to the work don't come to them. And if you all want to sit down in the area where you have the work and still sit down and want it to come right by your bedroom door, this is why you are in this condition that you are now and will want to complain that, you know, I can't get no work. No, because you're not trying. You're not going where the work is. You want it to come inside of your home. If you can't do it, well, go on. If you can't get on inside the bedroom, well, come and join all the different programs that the government has put in place. And this ideology that we want to continue to push about famine is about a man in a hot sun with a hoe. No, that is no longer what famine is. Let's start to take our minds into the 21st century. It's automated, people.
All right.
Let's get there and do something positive and stop this stupidity that we keep hearing.
Thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Uh-huh.
I'll make it short. The caller is well off because this man saying that it have work for you. He's young and older than 35 as young people. I just hear a show host on another frequency saying he listened to the program last night in Chaguanas. And he's shocked when he hear the amount of things, and they had to give foster communities extra time to show the amount of employment and opportunities the young people get in. But he over 35, so he just...
Don't worry, I'm going to get the minister to come in the studio. I'm going to get Minister Cummings to come in the studio.
Yeah, that was really good.
All right.
Foster Cummings.
Thank you.
He didn't have enough time last night. Thanks.
Thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, quick. You know, you should have answered him when he asked you, what PNM gave you over the last 8 years? What PNM people get over the last 8 years? This is how I would have answered him. It's not what we get, you know. It's what we did not get. We did not get a prime minister who saved two of PNM's financiers from being extradited to Florida to face prosecution and jail in 2011. And a year later, we did not get Dr. Rowley setting up legislation to kill off all the charges that these same two men were facing. We did not get a prime minister who ever interfered with the court system to free our corrupt friends. That is what he needed to be told. But thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi. Yeah.
The number changed to 91.9.
Pardon?
Because the madhouse number changed from 9 to 91.9 because I don't understand a young man. He has any mad. He lives in Mars. Okay?
Right.
I don't know.
Thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, Pastor Guru.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is the UNC campaign is targeted to people like that gentleman who's talk about not getting employment in his community. You know. They're targeting African people of a lower level of understanding who could get and embarrass themselves by making that kind of statement. And it pities me to look around and see how many of them so vulnerable. They don't even have the decency to talk the truth. My African people.
All right.
And when my African people gunning down one another and want to blame Dr. Rowley, I really remind them that in the 1970s, we would have greet each other as brother because we were in solidarity with the racial discrimination across the world against African people. And now it pains me to see us shooting each other down for a small dollar rather than going and looking to work hard and honestly and support our families. Have a good day, Pastor.
Thank you very much.
I can't believe no one is talking about this. The Ministry of Sport and Community Development is offering grants for sporting organizations and individuals. This grant is for national governing bodies for sport, community groups, and individuals dedicated to advancing sport in Trinidad and Tobago. Last year, the Ministry of Sport and Community Development distributed $70 million in grants. Typically, the groups that are interested in these grants would have to be registered as an NGO with an official bank account, while the individuals would have to be engaging in competitive sporting activity. The first step is to go on the Ministry of Sport and Community Development's website and fill out the application forms. After that, submit it along with all your supporting documents to the Sport Ministry headquarters in Nicholas Towers. Your application will then be assessed and evaluated to see how much funding you qualify for. Remember, this process takes time, so we recommend that you apply at least 3 months before the event that you need funding for. Ready to access your grant? Click the link in our bio to get started.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, Pastor Google. I know you only have a minute left, right?
A second.
Google, I want to do a fact check right here now with a gentleman who called telling you about the statement that Dr. Rowley made. Now, I wrote it down. I'm quoting now from Dr. Rowley.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of The Street 919 FM.
As the season changes, let's continue to show that ocean of unity for each other.